Okay. Hi, I'm Brady,
And I'm Lisa.
and we're going to talk about if Sternberg is a controlled environment or we're growing as adults. So, what do you think?
Well, at home, my mother is very overprotective, extreme. So when I got out here and was able to, go out when I wanted and not have to call and check in, when I got there, or when a few hours went by, I felt very much like I was expanding and had some more responsibility, I should. But I also feel like I definitely have a lot of still mom check-in kind of time, once a week kind of thing, let her know what I'm up to. And I feel very safe, this is on campus, it's kind
That's
of
good.
like a home kind of place,
good.
I don't feel ever very uncomfortable or anything.
Yeah. Do you feel
Which
like,
is nice.
going to class is sort of like your job here, or do you feel like you don't really have the pressures as a real job? You can't get fired, you can just fail a class. Do you think it's sort of the same level of anticipation all the time, or no?
I don't think it's the same as going to a job. Personally,
Yeah.
there have been days where I'm I think I'm just gonna sleep in today, especially in those huge lecture classes in Javits.
Yeah.
With 500 kids where they don't ever know if you're there or not.
Very true.
Especially freshman year, I was once a week I was no, I'm not going today.
Yeah.
And
Take
that's
advantage
being
of it.
generous to myself. And I know that once you get out into the real world, you can't exactly be yeah, I'm not coming
Everyone's here, I don't need to come.
I'm not coming
Totally
in today. Yeah, and still get paid? I don't think so. But, I feel now that I'm a junior, I take it a lot more serious. I would not, even the full classes, I wouldn't really skip. Unless I had, a really good reason to.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I feel
You're preparing yourself for what you really need to do in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel it's as strict, but I'm also not one of these kids that's, never going to class, you know?
Yeah.
So, for them, it's probably, just as serious as missing a job because they're, failing out of the class, if you never go.
That's really true. Do you think, the food's too closed off? Do you think everything's, the same on campus, or do you think you have, a good selection?
For food?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I totally think everything's, the same. I think that Jasmine is enough Chinese food and Asian cuisine for me. And they even deliver to all the freaking dorms.
I know.
I don't think we need another Asian place in Kelly. And Kelly's grown into, it was so awesome because they used to switch it up all the time.
I know, I love the surprises.
Yeah, and now it's, nothing. And I could really use more variety instead of just, having a sandwich for dinner or, a burger.
Yeah.
I go to, norms all the time.
Because everyone's getting the same food, same days, every time, all the time, and it's just repetitive.
It does get especially towards the end of the year, you're just oh, I can't eat on campus ever.
Yeah.
It's just horrible. It turns into something that's nasty. You're
It's
begging
gross.
to go out with your
please
friends.
Stop.
Let's go to Fridays, please.
I don't care if I don't have any money, it's fine. Do you think the minorities on campus sort of divide each other, divide with their own groups? Or do you think they blend in a little bit, or some blend in?
I definitely,
Give me specifics.
Well, I definitely feel that the Asians maybe on campus, whenever I see an Asian, I'm there's 20 other Asians with them.
Yeah.
So I'm they definitely group together. But there are some people that branch out, especially if you're thrown into a situation with them. Personally, if you're on a sports team, I'm a swimmer, you're
true.
thrown into a situation where you're with, a whole bunch of people, and you hang out with them all the time.
Yeah.
Now, that turns into more of, an athlete thing, and that's, they're
Yeah,
basically their own...
the athletes.
They're basically their own race.
Yeah.
But, also, with people that you're living with and stuff, you really get thrown into a mix of people, and sometimes you branch out and get to know their friends, and that kind of mixes you in a little bit.
A little bit. Sometimes I don't. I have
Unless your roommate is insane.
Yeah. Do you think anyone else but the Asians sort of divide each other? Do you think anyone else?
Well, I find that the gay people all know each other.
I don't know any of them, and I'm a homo, so...
I don't know.
I know Brady.
Yeah, well, he knows everyone.
I know.
I don't know.
He
but
networks.
Yes, he definitely does. I don't know. What other groups do you think
I guess
really cling together?
the Indian crowd sort of comes together, but they're sort of counted as Asians, and because they are Asian.
I can see that, yeah.
And then
they kind of come together.
And I think everyone else is pretty okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's just very obvious that, especially like the Asian, I won't say which one, but definitely sticks together all the time. The commuters' lounge and the webcams in the room smoking out.
That definitely happens.
Yeah.
Although it could just be because there's so many of them on campus that we always see like
that's very true.
Groups of them lumped together.
It's the same ones all the time. You don't even know it.
It could be.
Alrighty. Well, that's all for tonight. So, see you later. Good night.
Night.